The smell of smoke still clung to the air when the firefighters finally cleared the rubble. Among the ruins of what used to be a small crowded street in the old part of town, silence lingered, broken only by the hiss of smoldering debris and the soft, pitiful whine coming from behind a collapsed wooden beam. It was the kind of sound most people might miss, but not Tara, a volunteer with the local animal rescue group, who had learned long ago to listen for the faintest cries that often meant life still fought beneath destruction. She dropped to her knees, heart pounding, and gently began moving charred boards, ash, and broken glass with her gloved hands. And then she saw him, a tiny soot-covered puppy, barely a few months old, cowered in a pocket of space between two fallen planks. His fur was matted and blackened, and one paw was trembling, injured. His eyes, wide and wet with fear, locked onto Tara's with a mixture of confusion and desperation. He didn't bark, he didn't growl, he just whimpered softly, as if begging for someone, anyone, not to leave him behind. Tara reached in, whispering gently, and the puppy, against all odds, dragged himself toward her outstretched arms. The next moments blurred into urgent motion. She wrapped him in a blanket, notified the team, and raced to the emergency vet clinic. Inside the sterile white walls, the puppy was examined, hydrated, treated for burns, and given pain medication. Miraculously, he had no life-threatening injuries, but it was clear from the way he searched every corner of the room, from the way he cried when alone, that he had lost everything: his family, his safety, his world, in the fire. Tara named him Ash, both for the fire that had taken so much from him and the resilience that burned quietly inside his small frame. She took him home that night, intending to foster him until he recovered. But from the moment she laid him in a fresh bed, with a plush toy beside him, Ash began to change something in her. He clung to her presence, following her with wide eyes, curling up at her feet when she stopped, and nudging her hand with his nose for reassurance. Tara had seen heartbreak in animals before, but something about Ash's silent strength pierced deeper than she expected. Over the following days, Ash began to heal. Physically, his fur started to grow back in patches, soft and golden beneath the soot. His wounds scabbed over, and he limped a little less with each sunrise. But emotionally, his recovery was more delicate. At night, he still cried in his sleep, paws twitching as if running from flames in his dreams. Tara would wake and carry him to her bed, holding him until the trembling stopped. She didn't know exactly what Ash had seen. Maybe he'd watched his mother disappear behind a wall of smoke. Maybe he'd heard the cries of siblings who didn't make it. But whatever haunted him was slowly being chased away, not by time, but by love. Ash soon found joy in the smallest things. His first wag of the tail came when Tara gave him a squeaky ball. His first bark, a high-pitched yip, broke through the silence when he spotted a squirrel on the porch. Every meal became a celebration. Every walk, a victory. He made friends with the neighbor's old cat, who pretended to be annoyed but never left his side. He learned how to sit, then stay, then shake paws. The world had taken so much from him, yet here he was, reclaiming it one paw step at a time. People began asking about Ash when Tara posted his story online. Messages poured in. He's beautiful. I'm crying reading this. How can I help? But one question kept coming up. Is he up for adoption? Tara hesitated every time she read it. She knew the plan had been to foster, to help him find his forever home. But what if he already had? Weeks turned into months, and Ash had transformed completely. His fur was thick and shiny. His eyes sparkled, and the limp had faded. He no longer whimpered in his sleep. Instead, he snored lightly, curled up in a crescent shape at the foot of Tara's bed. He had a favorite blanket, a favorite toy, and a habit of running in wild circles whenever he got excited. Every time Tara looked at him, she saw not the broken, frightened pup from the fire, but a symbol of how far love and care can go. One sunny afternoon, while Ash rolled in the grass of the backyard chasing butterflies, Tara sat with a cup of tea and smiled. She thought about all the animals she had helped over the years, all the temporary goodbyes. But Ash was different. He hadn't just been rescued. He had rescued her too. During a time in her life when things felt uncertain, when loneliness crept into the corners of her days, Ash had filled that space with pure, unconditional affection. He reminded her that even when everything burns down, something new, something beautiful, can rise from the ashes. So she made it official. Ash was no longer a foster. He was family. Tara celebrated the adoption with a small party. Her friends brought dog treats and chew toys. Ash wore a blue bandana that read, "Home at last." He pranced around the house, accepting cuddles from everyone like a little celebrity. But the moment that meant the most came later that night when Tara sat on the couch, and Ash climbed up beside her, rested his head on her lap, and sighed the kind of sigh that only comes from complete safety. He was home. He knew it. And so did she. Ash's story didn't just end with his rescue. It grew. Tara continued to share updates online, and Ash became a small local icon. Schools invited Tara to talk about animal rescue. Donations to the shelter increased. People stopped her on the street to pet Ash and say, "You're the miracle puppy." But for Tara, the real miracle wasn't in what the world saw. It was in what she felt. The quiet mornings, the wet nose nudges, the tail wags at the door. Ash wasn't just a survivor. He was a light. Sometimes, people would ask if she ever thought about what Ash lost in that fire. Tara always answered the same. "I do, every day. But I also think about everything he gained, and everything I gained because of him." So if you ever see a story like Ash, if you ever hear about a scared animal found in the aftermath of tragedy, don't scroll past. Don't think someone else will do something, because you could be the one who makes all the difference. You could be the home they never had, just like Tara was for Ash. Just like Ash, in return, was for her. If this story touched your heart, please share it. Let Ash's journey inspire someone else to open their home, their heart, and take a chance on an animal in need. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Rescue Animal Tales. Every share helps us rescue more animals like Ash, and every view is a step toward making the world safer, one paw at a time.